Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. We're back again with another G.I. Joe action figure review. In this episode, we're taking a look at the 25th anniversary release of the Croc Master. I've always loved this figure for whatever reason. It's just always kind of stood out to me as, I guess, a unique figure, and I've always really enjoyed it from the vintage line. So I was glad to see that we had a new release for the 25th anniversary line depicting the Croc Master himself. So very cool looking packaging. It's the artwork is a little bit different than the original, but just barely. It's still very reminiscent of that original release, and it just looks great here. Flipping it over to the back, we do have the standard 25th release here with all the characters released so far, plus the file card here. I'll go ahead and move this up here. Y'all can pause it now to read through the file card if you would like. Croc Master, very cool. This particular card came pretty well damaged here. There's some sticker residue and some lifting of the UPC code and stuff like that. Lots of bends. But we're opening this thing, so I don't care. Let's go ahead and tear into this guy. It does have one of these interesting looking bubbles here, large enough to fit the actual Gator here. Slice through this thing real quick. All the way around. And pop this guy out. These are really cool cards, but we'll throw that to the side and see what we have here. We do have a couple pieces of tape here holding the accessories in. So let's go ahead and slice that tape. Then we have the awesome bullwhip here. We have the figure itself. You gotta get this tape off of this pistol here. I can get it out here now. Very cool revolver. And again, we'll zoom in here in just a moment to take a look at this. But then we've got the cool Gator. Very nice with his collar and chain holding them in place. And then we got the figure stand. So very, very cool. Let's go ahead and zoom in here and take a closer look. Zoom! I need a cool sound effect for that, don't I? Never have gotten one. So, alright, there we go. That looks pretty good. We'll start off here with the actual figure stand, battle stand. It's a traditional 25th anniversary Cobra stand. We have the raised Cobra logo on the top. We have one single foot peg here. Codename Cobra Croc Master. And the 2007 copyright there on the bottom. So, very cool. I never have understood why they put a single foot peg on these guys. And the Joes have the two most of the time. But that's the way most of these come. So, no big deal. Let's look at the accessories first here. The bullwhip has a nice kind of leather feel to it. I mean, it's made out of plastic and but it kind of simulates that leather look here. It's got some really cool details built into it. The handle, all the wrappings here at the bottom for his handhold, which obviously doesn't come apart there to actually let you strap it to his wrist, but that's okay. And then some cool detail work in the actual cord itself. Again, it's plastic and very flexible here. And then the end is frayed there like it would be in an actual bullwhip. So that is very cool. I didn't think to look to see if this is similar to the bullwhip that comes with the Indiana Jones figures. But anyways, it's an awesome looking bullwhip. Whoosh. Very cool. Awesome accessory there. The other thing we get is this cool revolver. It's similar to a 357, but I don't know if that's exactly what it is or not. So any of y'all weapons experts out there, feel free to let me know in the comments section. Some decent looking details on this thing. I keep dropping it, so. It is made out of that very soft plastic though there, so it's very bendy, very weird. But we do have an awesome holster on his side that lets you just slide that in there. It doesn't fit all the way in there, unfortunately. It looks like there's room at the very bottom. You might could hollow that out and get that to fit. Oh, actually, just move it around a little bit and it actually does fit rather nicely. So, yeah, very cool. I love those holsters for these weapons. So, very, very cool. Pop that thing out. The other pieces that we have, he's got this cool oxygen tank on his back here. It is removable. Just pops off like that. Just like a backpack peg there. Then the hose that connects to his breather apparatus there on the front. Very cool. You can pop that out if you want, but it looks pretty awesome as it is, so we're going to leave it in there. While we're at it, let's just go ahead and look at the figure itself here. Some very awesome looking detail here. I love the face sculpt on this thing. He looks very evil. And you can tell he's got like this. He's patched his face mask a few times. It's ripped. And he's kind of stitched it back together. Very nice looking. He's got the alligator crocodile armor on. The cool Cobra logo there. Some very nice looking details here. His rather unique belt buckle there with that big croc eye. Some cool stuff on the side of it. It's like a weight belt there to a certain extent there. Then he's got some cool armbands. Another, I guess that's a depth gauge or something like that for him. Basic pants. The cool holster on his side there. Some more alligator skin boots, which have some very interesting details in it. So there's actually a two-tone paint job on these things. So you've got dark green hair at the edge and the back, and then the lighter green there at the front. Then his molded in boot knife, unfortunately. That would have been really cool if that was actually removable, but it's not. And then cool tread on the bottom there. So very nice. One of the other things I want to point out here, and I'm not sure how well this is going to come out, so let me dial this down a little bit. Molded into his right arm, that bicep, you can look real close and see he's basically got bite marks on his arm, which is just totally awesome there. Basically a gator has bitten into his arm and left a scar there that's not completely healed. So that is really cool. And it kind of goes a little bit down onto the rest of his forearm there also. But yeah, that is a really awesome detail that you might miss. And it continues there on the other part of the arm. His other arm doesn't have those bite marks. He does have that cool vein popping out though there. Some very nice detail though on this thing. This thing is a really awesome looking figure here. Let's jack the light back up here. And take a look at articulation here. The head does spin 360 degrees, although that breathing apparatus kind of limits it, so you'll have to take that off to get it to spin entirely. But you do have a lot of up and down motion, side to side, head tilt as well. Standard ball and swivel at the shoulder joints here. Standard ball and swivel at the elbow joints. If I can get it to bend here. It's a little tight. There we go. And then we have a standard just swivel at the wrist. We've got the standard ab chest twist feature, whatever you want to look at it. Not a whole lot of ab crunch going on, but there is a little bit there, so very cool. No waist twist. Standard T-hooks at the waist and hips. Full outer extension. So again, a little stiff here, so he goes that way forward, about that far backwards. Again, side to side is really nice on this thing. He does have a double knee joint, and he has a swivel at the end of his boots here, and that rocker as well. So all in all, really great articulation here. This is, again, one of my favorite figures out of the line here. Just looks really awesome. Yeah, it's a cool figure here. His other accessory that we'll go ahead and look at is his Gator here. So this is a brand new sculpt for the 25th anniversary line here of his cool Gator. It's got some amazing detail all the way through it here. Nice paint apps. I don't know how well it shows up here on the screen, but it's actually a two-tone color here. So you've got the dark color on the top and the lighter color on the belly. It's made of a softish plastic, so you can bend the tail a little bit. The legs are bendy a little bit. They're not articulated. But his jaws are articulated. Roar! So you can clomp that thing down and bite some joes if you want to. Very cool looking inside there. They've got his tongue painted pink. And the top of his mouth there is painted as well, along with all the teeth there. So that is very awesome. The original vintage line didn't have articulation on the jaws or anything, so you just had to pretend. But with this one, we get to chop down all we want there. That is very cool. The head actually doesn't turn or anything like that. It's just that single hinge joint there for the jaws, but still works really well. We also get his, I guess technically it's a non-removable collar and chain. Some nice detail on that as well, and then the actual handle there. You can remove it if you pop his jaws off, but I'm not going to bother with that because he looks cool with it on there. So, yeah, that's the accessories we get. We don't get a lot of accessories with this guy, but we get a big accessory in the Gator. And I really do love the bullwhip. It's just an awesome accessory here for the Croc Master. And then the ability to store his pistol. You got to turn it just right to get it to go in there all the way. But very awesome there. And then he can grip the handle here for the Gator. And he's ready to fight some Joes. Very cool looking though. It's a really awesome figure here, as I said. I really just love this. My only real complaint is that in my head, I want the alligator armor here to be a slightly darker shade of green. It's a little too light for my tastes, even compared with the actual alligator that he comes with. It's kind of an olive green color, but it's a little too bright for me. I don't know, but it's really not that bad. And I guess I don't have my vintage one anywhere close at hand to do a comparison or anything like that. But by itself, and this is the way I typically look at these figures, is how it stands on its own. And it is really an awesome figure and really, really shines. I guess it's impressed me a whole lot anyway. So if you haven't picked this one up, I do recommend picking it up. It goes great with all the other figures. It is a slight departure character-wise from some of the more military-themed stuff, but it's a great overall figure and a great character. That's all the time we've got for today, so thanks for watching. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Be on the lookout for more awesome videos coming down the pipeline. Leave some comments down below. Let us know what you think of the 25th Anniversary Croc Master. How does it compare in your head to the original vintage line? And, yeah. Anything else you want to put down there? Put it down there. That's always interesting to read those comments. So, thanks again, and until next time, Yo-Jo!